Julia.
Good morning. We want to welcome you this morning to our Drainage District Board of Directors meeting for today, May the 5th, 2015. President Dodd, Commissioner Cuellar, Precinct 1, Commissioner Cantu, Precinct 2, Commissioner Flores, Precinct 3, and myself. We have a quorum.
Judge, Commissioners, just for the Drainage District record, Commissioner Palacios asked that I convey that he is not currently with us today because he's traveled to Austin on a scheduled meeting with our Secretary of State. The purpose of the meeting or the purpose of the trip was a colonial resolution on a constitutional amendment that was introduced by Senator Lucio. And so he just wanted to make sure that the court was aware and the Drainage District side was aware as well that he is in Austin on official business. Thank you.
All right. Under yes, Mr. Raul.
Yes, sir. If I may, let's bow our heads and pray. Father God, we give you thanks for another day that you've given us. Thank you for the opportunity to come serve you, Lord. I ask that you be with us, myself, this Commissioner's Court, all the department heads of the county, Lord. Provide wisdom in all the decisions that we have to make today, Lord. May we make those decisions for the betterment of this county, Lord. I ask this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Monica, anybody sign up?
Open forum.
No, okay, go ahead. Let's move on to our consent agenda.
Ms. Briones?
We have an item, Judge, that we request no action.
Oh, we have to pull that item.
Excuse me?
We have to pull that item.
Yes, I'm going to read the item.
Just give us the
Give us
number.
the number.
Just give us the number.
It's one of the items from item 3.
Then we have to pull all of item 3.
Okay.
Say that again?
We have to pull item 3.
Pull out item 3 and then...
And then specify which one.
Okay. From item 3, it's invoice number 2015.
Okay, hold on. We got to pull item 3, then approve the rest of the consent agenda, then go back to item 3.
Make a motion to pull out 3 and approve the rest of the consent agenda.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Go ahead and read it.
Okay. The item from 3 is invoice number 2015-2274 in the amount of $5,354.02 from TEDSI Infrastructure Group related to work authorization 9 GLO review East Lateral Drain, PO 623-575. No action on that one invoice.
We need no action on that one. So
that particular one?
So let's say approve item 3, except no action on invoice number, whatever.
Okay.
And can you give us the invoice number again?
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Can you give us the invoice number?
No action on invoice 201-52274.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 5.
Thank you. Discussion and action of the proposed amendments to the original current letter of engagement, including but not limited to the following items, as more specifically detailed in the supporting document titled Amended Letter of Engagement attached herein as approved by ACDD 1 BOD 01-2215. The purchasing department is going to make this presentation for this item.
Good morning.
Morning.
Agenda item 49521, discussion and action on the proposed amendments to the original current letter of engagement, including but not limited to the following. Number 1, amendment expiration date of original agreement using working days, not calendar days. That would bring it up to May 15, using the working days. The original scope of services to include conflict of interest issues and contained in proposed amendment letter of engagement, and acceptance of approval of the professional liability coverage at $500,000. That's for letter A.
Okay, that's 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B, discussion and action on second amendment to letter of engagement for additional time from May 15, 2015 to August 15, 2015 in order to complete the additional scope of work approved by Hidalgo County Drainage District Board of Directors related to conflict of interest issues to the Intech contract.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 6,
Request approval to issue manual payment once reviewed and audit procedures are complete on the following items. Request for payment number 1 in the amount of $70,965 from Foremost Payment, Inc., related to construction contract number ACDD 1-14-003-0205, Precinct 4, West Main Drain, PO number 624506.
Move for approval.
Second.
those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, request for payment number 2 in the amount of $60,525 for Foremost Payment, Inc., related to construction contract ACDD 1-14-003-02-05, Precinct 4, West Main Drain, PO 624506.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C, request for payment number 3, final retainage release in the amount of $24,779.50. Foremost Payment, Inc., related to construction contract ACDD 1-14-027-10-08, ACDD 1, North Main Weir 1, PO number 625973.
Move for
For
approval.
approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 7, discussion, any county drainage district number 1 drainage project maintenance and operations. At this time, I don't have anything for the board to present.
All right, anything under executive?
Not today, Judge.
Need a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
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 I'm
motion
sorry, Judge.
They want, excuse me, we wanted a clarification on item 5. The approval was made for item 5, 1, 2, and 3,
Yes.
It was 1,
And-
2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
and we need to include 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, the number 4, I don't know if we acted on it. That's the one with insurance?
Yes.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve item 5-4.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, it's 9:33. At this time, we're going to convene our regular meeting of the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court for today, May the 5th, 2015. Present are Commissioner, Cuellar, Precinct 1, Cantu, Precinct 2, Flores, Precinct 3, and myself. We have a quorum. Please join us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Monica. Raúl?
Reverend.
Miss Virginia's not here. All right, let's pray. Father God, we give you thanks again for another day that you've given us. Thank you for the opportunity to come before and just serve you, Lord. Grant us wisdom, this Commissioner's Court, all these individuals that work for this county, Lord, that they make the right decisions and the better decisions to better our county, Lord. I ask all this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, our consent agenda, any concerns?
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Under open forum, we have one presenter, Ms. Fern McClarity.
Good morning. I've got
morning,
a couple
ma'am.
of questions. On page 4, 14A, I'm trying to remember, we were in the Commissioner's Court whenever VITA came to get $187,000, and y'all had stated that the contract had ended in April of last year. So I'm trying to figure out how this now is being presented and giving them $187,000. I know you can't answer right now, but public would like to know. Second is page 5, 14B. This is, why are we able to do a waiver on travel? And on this particular travel, it was the taxpayers are paying for this trip, but we weren't invited or allowed to go to be in this same meeting. I don't understand how we can do it, but we're spending around $398.90 for a trip that we couldn't go. Also, on 15A1, page 5, why are we leasing or renting vehicles? And some of these leases are going for $1,500, $1,900. I don't know why we need to rent a car, but we would like to know that. And the last thing is on page 7, 15J1. This is the constables. They're purchasing and installing of lighting equipment, and I'm assuming this is on those $6 million fleet that we're buying for the taxpayers are paying for. Are these completely extra new ones, or are we taking the old ones off of the vehicles that we keep wrecking, and are we able to use our equipment on that? But we're spending one constable, $43,000. We've got another constable, $47,000. We've got one constable, $64,000. And this is on the lighting and equipment on the vehicles. Can we find out why so much, and are we using what we already have? Thank you.
I think Balde's in the back, but Monica? Can you tell Balde to invite Rolando Garza to our next meeting? Rolando being the chief appraiser. We need for him to explain, first of all, the fact that the Hidalgo County Appraisal District is not a part of the Hidalgo County. But second and most important is the policy or the procedures or the process that they use in order to evaluate the valuations of properties here in this county every year. We've been getting quite a few phone calls. People are believing that the county commissioner's court is the one that has the authority to increase values, and we do not. We have absolutely nothing to do with it. But we do need to bring in our chief appraiser, invite him to come and explain to the community about what they're doing and why the valuations are where they are today. All right, item number 6. A.
Good morning, Commissioners,
Yes,
Judge.
good morning.
I'd like to ask Gustavo Salinas if he's here to join me. As I read, item 6A is a proclamation declaring May as Elder Abuse Prevention Month in Hidalgo County. Whereas abuse of the elderly in domestic and institutional settings is a widespread problem affecting hundreds of thousands of people across the country. The National Council on Aging estimates that 1 in 10 Americans over the age of 60 have experienced some form of elder abuse, with only 1 in 14 cases reported. Whereas elder abuse is grossly underreported because the elderly are being abused, who are being abused find it very difficult to tell anyone and are usually ashamed and sometimes afraid. And whereas all Hidalgo County residents have an obligation to report suspicions of elder abuse or neglect through services like the Texas Abuse Hotline or through the Adult Protective Services Program of the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Now therefore be it resolved that Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby proclaims May 2015 as Elder Abuse Prevention Month in the County of Hidalgo and encourages all residents to report suspected elder abuse and neglect. When they approve it?
Move for approval.
Second.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, item 6B.
Item 6B is a proclamation declaring May as Children's Mental Health Awareness Month in Hidalgo County. Here to accept the proclamation are two representatives from Tropical Texas Behavioral Health, Program Services Director Hilda Garcia, and Youth Empowerment Services Supervisor Monica Rodriguez. Please come up and join me. Whereas addressing the complex mental health needs of children, youth, and families today is fundamental to the future of the Rio Grande Valley, and whereas the need for comprehensive, coordinated mental health services for children, youth, and families places upon our community a critical responsibility, and whereas it's appropriate that a month should be set apart for each year for the direction of our thoughts toward our children's mental health and well-being. Whereas Tropical Texas Behavioral Health, through its unique approach to serving children and adolescents, is effectively caring for the mental health needs of children, youth, and families in our community. Now therefore be it resolved that Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby proclaims May 2015 as Children's Mental Health Awareness Month and urges our citizens, agencies, and organizations interested in meeting every child's mental health needs to unite in the observance of exercises that will acquaint the people of Hidalgo County with the fundamental necessity of a year-round program for children and youth with mental health needs and their families.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Good morning, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, ladies. Item 6C.
Item 6C, Judge Commissioners, is a resolution in support of the preservation of ocelots in the Rio Grande Valley. Whereas the last remaining ocelots in the United States are found only in Texas, there are only about 50 of these native wild cats living in the United States, and they're all located right here in South Texas. Whereas the success of protecting these endangered cats depends upon the participation and cooperation of all counties, conservation groups, government agencies, and concerned citizens. The ocelot is primarily nocturnal. Whereas the single greatest threat to ocelots is loss of habitat. In the Rio Grande Valley, as many as 98% of ocelot habitat has been removed for agriculture and development. And whereas the Conservation Fund and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service announced in November that the endangered ocelot gained ground thanks to a South Texas ranching family. More than 7,400 acres of ranch land near the Laguna Atacosta National Wildlife Refuge in Willacy County was protected through a conservation easement granted by the Frank Uteria family. And whereas habitat restoration needs to be a top priority in preserving the remaining ocelots that inhabit the Rio Grande Valley, it's imperative that we create a wildlife corridor and restore habitat for these federally endangered species. Now therefore be it resolved that Hidalgo County Commissioners Court supports the protection of ocelots and preservation of its natural habitats.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And can you move on to item 6D?
Yes, sir. Item 6D is an interlocal agreement with La Joya ISD and Hidalgo County to televise Commissioners Court meetings to residents in the western portion of Hidalgo County. This is part of an ongoing effort to partner with businesses, school districts, and cities to air our Commissioners Court meetings as a public service to Hidalgo County residents. It's offered free to the county as a service to our residents, and beginning this Friday, we'll be televising Commissioners Court meetings at 10 a.m. on Channel 17 in PSJA, Weslaco ISD, and Mission ISD, and La Jolla ISD as well.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And we'll be publicizing where people can view Commissioners Court meetings on our website, Facebook, Twitter, other social media.
And I understand you're going to make an effort to try to get it televised after 5 o'clock, so people that work can see it.
We're doing our best, sir. That's prime time for them, so
Right.
we're working at their discretion, but we will.
So you presently have agreements with Weslaco, PSJA, Edinburgh,
Mission.
McAllen, correct?
We're working with Edinburgh, CISD, and McAllen ISD. We do not have agreements with those two school districts. We have agreements signed with PSJA, Weslaco ISD, Mission ISD, and La Jolla ISD.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Item 7, Mr. Guerra.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. There's no action under item 7A, 1, 2, and 3. We'll have an update on the next court session. Item 7B, I'm asking the court to accept the settlement offer from Apollo Managing General Agency in the amount of $3,408.56. This will settle a total loss auto accident claim with one of our county vehicles.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
I'm also asking the court to authorize me to sign power of attorney to transfer the motor vehicle form and any documents for title purposes to settle the total loss auto claim with
Move for
Apollo
approval.
Managing General Agency.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Item 8, our HIDCO Task Force.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, sir.
Item 8A, HIDCO Task Force, requesting authorization and approval to accept award number G14SS0002A, supplement number 1 between Hidalgo County and the Executive Office of the President, Office of National Drug Control Policy, increasing the award amount by $61,580. Grant period is from 01/01/2014 to 12/31/2015.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
A82, approval of certification of revenues as certified by the Hidalgo County Auditor.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 3, approval of appropriation of funds for the Hidalgo County HIDCO Task Force.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
And 4, requesting authorization to pay overtime reimbursable under the grant terms and conditions.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 9, our Sheriff's Office.
Judge.
Down, Mario.
Judge, if I may, for the Sheriff's Office, it's to deobligate the remaining amounts in 14 participating agencies and transferring the amounts to the 2013. Oh,
Here he comes.
there you go. Joey?
My apologies, answering some questions from constituents. Joel Rivera with the Sheriff's Department on behalf of Sheriff Eddie Guerra.
Yes, sir.
Agenda item
9A.
9A, authorization to deobligate remaining amounts in 14 of the participating agencies and transferring the amounts to 2013 Operation Stone Garden Sheriff's Office grant budget listed A through N, various amounts.
So move.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 10, Mr. Olivares, Health Office.
Nobody home.
All right.
Judge, why don't we take a no action at this time, and if there's, I'll verify that there's no action to be taken.
There probably is no action.
So for 10A1, B.
And B1.
And B1, yes, sir.
All right, item 11, Urban County.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners.
Good morning.
Our first item on the agenda is requesting the award of a bid and approval of contracts with A1 Installation and 3 General Construction Incorporated for the demolition and reconstruction of the following. The first one is 1 unit in the city of Mercedes for a total contract amount of $59,700 to A1 Installation.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 11A2 is 2 units in the city of Mercedes and 2 units in the countywide area for a total contract amount of $214,960 to G&G Contractors.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B is requesting authorization to approve and execute the easement agreement for the reciprocal access submitted to the Hidalgo Urban County Program by the Cesar Chavez Foundation for a project in the city of Ed Couch.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C is on behalf of the city of La Joya requesting consideration and action to award and enter into a construction contract with RG Enterprises, DBA G&G Contractors for a Parks and Recreational Facility project in the amount of $349,065.68.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D is on behalf of Precinct 1, requesting consideration and action to award and enter into a construction contract with RDH Site and Concrete LLC for a street improvement project, which is the Ola Blanca Road, in the amount of $310,842.45.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And our final item is the approval of land acquisition of tracts 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B, 4A, 4B, and 4C for the Penitas Drain Project, which is a general land office
Move for
project.
approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 12, our Planning Department.
Good morning, Judges and Commissioners. TJ Arredondo with the Planning Department. First item is discussion regarding possible water issues in Hidalgo County. This item was put on the agenda based or in response to a report from a local TV station that there are over 12,000 individuals without water in our county at this time. And I'm here today to respond to that. Their source was a website which claimed that there were that number of residents without water. And I have here today individuals from the Secretary of State's office and one of the water corporations in our county. We went ahead and researched the list of colonias, and every single one on that list had water except for 2. And of those 2, we have North Alamo working on applying for funding to provide water to those residents. So the number is greatly exaggerated. I'm just here today to clarify that. There was a report that was put out. It's a list compiled, and I guess I'll bring up Mr. De La Garza from the Secretary of State's office to kind of clarify that. Mr. De La Garza?
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. I'm Oliver De La Garza with the Secretary of State. Basically, the list of red colonias that they pulled, yes, the list of colonias they pulled shows over 12,900 residents in red colonias. Now, a red colonia, they automatically assumed it was lack of water. Really, a red colonia can signify that they're not platted, and that's the majority of all of the colonias that are red, basically, except for those 2 don't have platting. So they're all grandfathered. I mean, so. Oh, well, those 2 colonias are getting water through, and it's a very long story. The North Alamo Water Supply was going to fund them through a USDA project from money left over from Santa Rosa in Cameron County. that money got deobligated from Santa Rosa project, so North Alamo had to go back and reapply. Currently, they reapplied and are expected to be funded, just however long the process takes.
How many people in precinct 3, because I need to help them some way, are not without water?
To our knowledge, those are only 2 colonias.
Which
And they're in precinct 1.
Can you give a list of Mingo, or we can go ahead and do something about it?
Commissioner, there's one colonia that's not on that list, and that's the only one that we're aware of.
It's not on the list?
Yeah, it's not on the list, but there is one colonia that we've been dealing with for
But
some
why
time.
is it no water in there? Come on, I mean.
It's just before the laws came into effect, the developer carved out lots and sold them, and a lot of these individuals can't afford to replat. The developer has long.
Well, maybe the county should go in there and step in and help them, right?
How big is the colonia?
I don't have the number off the
many
top of my head, but
families,
there's
how many
multiple lots in that colonia.
How many, sir?
There's multiple lots. I couldn't give you a number, but I would say at least 10 tracts. A lot of those lots also were seized at tax sales and were resold, so we're kind of struggling with that as well. But we've looked at that, Commissioner, and it's in the Agua Sud CCN, and the water is quite a distance away.
Yeah, I remember when I grew up in Pavitas, and our place was not subdivided. And I remember they put a meter way out there, and we ran a line to our house. And it's still like that. And it's not platted. So why can't people help? We can help them, I guess. Why not? There's got to be a way.
We'll definitely get with the Water Corporation to see if they have any plans to extend water lines and see what we can do. But, at this point, those lots the developer has been deceased for some time, and we're struggling with.
Why don't you go and identify the families and get their statements and how long they've been there, what attempts they've made, how come they haven't been able to get water, and let's identify the problem and see if we can do something about it.
There's got to be a nonprofit out there or something, Judge, to help them with the plumbing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At least to get an expense, TJ, sometimes, without knowing what the cost is, we basically say, it's too expensive. But, maybe we can get some costs and then be able to see how we can fund it.
I will look into that, sir, and get back to the court. I wanted to bring up Mr. Jesse Aguirre from North Alamo Water Supply to talk about those 2 projects. Mr. Aguirre?
Judge, Commissioners, thank you for having us here. I'm here on behalf of my general manager, Mr. Steven Sanchez. He apologized for not being able to make it, but we are here to assure the county that we want to work with the county to provide service to any customers that don't have water. In particular, the report named La Via. We have been working with these individuals on a grant-funded project. It's just sometimes, the monies take a toll on us, and we, but we are pushing forward for it. We have our engineer here I have our rep from our engineer, Melvin Hunt, who can provide an update on that particular La Via customer base. I think it's about 20 individuals that will receive water from that line extension. And again, these line extensions, it is our service area, and to provide water and extend the line is at a cost. And these individuals in that area, they unfortunately they can't come up with the money, so we look for the grant money for them. But I would have, if I may, our engineer rep to provide an update on the project to you. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners, Judge. For the record, my name is Mike Hernandez with Meldon and Hunt Engineers. As Mr. Aguirre mentioned, we're working in the process of bringing water to some colonias located north of La Villa and south of La Villa. Currently, we're meeting with USDA to move some funds that we have available through a Santa Rosa project, and we're in the process of allocating those monies in order to target those colonias that were mentioned in the news here recently. So what we do ask from the court is support and maybe a letter from the county saying, hey, please allow North Alamo, and what we're using USDA funds for these projects, and a letter from the courts would really help a lot in pushing these projects, specifically when USDA, we've done this in the past, and USDA has allowed us to use letters from counties saying, hey, target these colonias, bring first-time water service, and it moves the project a lot faster.
We can do that, no, Judge? Get them a letter from the county.
Oh, yes.
we'll get on it.
Any other comments?
Judge.
Yes, sir.
I have a comment. In Precinct 3, we have water up to the 8-mile line, but there are subdivisions and there's people living in half an acre north of Western, north of Abram Road. Now, those people can get water if they pay for the water line up to that.
But is that a subdivision or just ranchitos, Mingo?
They're ranches and people that have lived there for quite some time, Judge, but they have water well, and they've been asking.
That's why the La Jolla Water Supply was formed back in the 60s, to provide water for the rural areas,
Right.
not to provide water for the cities.
Of course, nowadays, you cannot have a subdivision without any water, but
we know
the
that.
ranches that are there, those poor people, Judge, have been living there for 10, 15, 20 years, and they can't get water. They get water from Papalote, you know. So it's good water, but they would like to have city water. And the only way they can get it is if they pay for the line. Our water supply will give them water, but they have to pay a mile of line. Now, anybody that hooks up in there, then that gentleman who put all that money in there would help himself. But other than that, Judge, that problem, I think it's all over the valley. But we do need city water in our area because it's one of the fastest growing area there, no?
Yes, sir.
Precinct 3?
That's correct, sir.
Okay.
Judge, if I may add, also with these residents in La Villa that we're targeting, the funds that we're using from USDA will allow us to pay for their memberships and also pay for the installation of a service connection and a meter. So that cost is taken care of by the funds. The only cost that the landowner would do is running their yard line up to that service connection, that meter box. So
It's just like we did when I was a kid. I remember we ran about 800 feet to be able to get water.
How much does a mile cost? Más o menos.
it just depends on the size of the water line. So if we're looking at an 8-inch water line, we're looking maybe about
150.
About $18, $20 a linear foot.
Not bad.
All right, well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Item 12B, sir.
Next item, and all these subdivisions have water and water paid for by the developer. We're recommending preliminary approval for the following subdivisions. Cordova Heights subdivision, precinct 1, it's a 94-lot subdivision. B, California Apartment subdivision, it's a 1-lot multifamily subdivision in precinct 3. EVG Farm subdivision in precinct 4, it's a 1-lot subdivision. Caledonia Estates subdivision phase 2 in precinct 4, it's a 43-lot subdivision. We're recommending preliminary approval for all.
Move for approval.
4.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Next items are final approval. We're recommending final approval for Perez Acres subdivision, precinct 1. It's a 2-lot subdivision. Tames and Garcia subdivision in precinct 1 is a 2-lot subdivision.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Next item is final approval with a financial guarantee. Vegas Tower Ranches subdivision in precinct 4. It's a 68-lot subdivision. RSBR FM 1015 subdivision in precinct 1. It's a 1-lot commercial subdivision. And David Garza subdivision in precinct 3. It's a 1-lot subdivision.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
The next items are reimbursements of financial guarantees. These are all for septic tank systems. Las Estrellas Phase 1 subdivision, precinct 3, $3,000. Las Estrellas Phase 2 subdivision, precinct 3, $1,500. Las Estrellas Phase 3, precinct 3, $7,500. Las Estrellas Phase 4, precinct 3, $6,000. Ranchitos Escondidos Phase 1, precinct 4, $7,500. Wesco Manor subdivision, precinct 1, $5,000. And Vista Ridge Acres Phase 3, precinct 1, $3,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Last two items are replacement of a letter of credit with a cash deposit. We're replacing for Venetian Ranches subdivision, precinct 4, with a cash deposit of $11,900, and Los Venados Phase 2 subdivision in precinct 4 replacing the letter credit with a cash deposit of $11,050.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item 13, Precinct 4.
Morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Stephen Cruz, Director of Operations for Commissioner Palacios. Item 13A is approval of interlocal cooperation agreement between Hidalgo County and the City of McAllen.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
In accordance with Texas Government Code 791.014, approval of proposed project with the City of McAllen, Texas, and the county through Precinct 4 to assist in that certain sanitary sewer project located in Hohen Drive subdivision.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Item 14, Budget.
Morning, Judge, Commissioner Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget and Management. Item 14A is just presentation of the final agreement between the county and VIDA for the ACE initiative, and this is in the amount of $187,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 14B is approval of waiver to the travel policy guidelines and procedures, Section 16D, and approval to reimburse employee number 121762 for lodging expenses in the amount of $145.91 and $252.99, and this is due to unavailability of rooms at the government rate, and this is for attending hearings at the legislature.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And finally, item 14B2 is discussion, consideration, and approval of revisions to the travel policy guidelines and procedures. Judge, Commissioners, we're requesting to amend item 16D, which is the room rate, to $139 per night. Basically, working with the auditor's office, we've identified that Austin is pretty much the most traveled place, especially now with the session going on, and we're requesting that we have the 139 rate, which is the highest state-approved rate for the city of Austin. Also, another change is going to be on the calculation of the mileage. Previously, the policy was specifically mentioned MapQuest. We're just requesting to change that to any readily available mapping services, Google Maps, MapQuest, anything like that. Just not to have it strictly restricted to MapQuest.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning, Darlene Bencourt for the Purchasing Department for item 15, starting with item A for Hidalgo County. A1, presentation of responsible vendor submitting the lowest and best bid, meeting all specifications and/or requirements for the purposes of award and approval of the contract for lease of rental of vehicles through project number 2015-032-0408 SMA.
It's only as needed, right?
I'm sorry?
It's only as needed?
Yes, sir. Only as needed.
Because they thought it was probably leasing them. All right, move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, County Judge's Office, we're requesting authority to advertise and approval of the procurement packet as attached here too for exclusive shoe shine stand concession services at the Hidalgo County Courthouse, including the re-advertising of project in the event no proposals are received and/or rejection of responses received.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B is action by Commissioners Court to prohibit the operation of any shoe shine stand operations concessions on Hidalgo County Courthouse premises and/or any other county-owned properties other than those authorized or awarded by Hidalgo County Commissioners Court.
For approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C1 for Precinct 1 is requesting approval of the supplemental agreement to work authorization number 3 as submitted by Millennium Engineering to contract C13-243-0827, increase in the amount of $5,093.50 to the previous amount of $23,461.50 for a new total of $28,555 for additional services as detailed in the supplemental document for Sioux Road west of Tower Road to Alamos city limits in Precinct 1 through original assigned requisition 262245 and PO number 713933.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C2 is acceptance and approval of supplemental agreement number 1 to work authorization number 1 for contract number C13-1030604 with Lefevre Engineering, an increase of $13,450 to the approved amount of $50,215 for additional services as detailed in the attachment hereto for Mile 10 North from Ola Blanca to FM 493, approximately 3,000 linear feet of street improvements, bringing the new total to $63,665 through rec number 254248 with PO number 710375.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion
you.
carries.
Item D1 for Precinct 2 is pursuant to current contract with LNG in Article Number 14, LNG Engineering, that is, a request for approval by engineer to permit the subcontracting of right-of-way surveying services, LLC, in connection with work authorization number 2 for Precinct 2 Regional Hike and Bike Trail Project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item D2 is ratification of fully executed change order number 4 for an increase of $90 in connection with the Hidalgo County Precinct 2 Equipment and Maintenance Facility from contracted vendor Holtromont and is recommended by project architect ERO Architects.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item E for Precinct 3, E1, requesting approval to exercise its option to terminate under paragraph 14 as stated in the current contract with Republic Services for garbage collection at Los Evanos Pavilion by providing a 30-day written termination notice as requested by Precinct 3.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item E2 for Precinct 3, A, acceptance and approval to execute final form of professional engineering agreement with LNG for engineering services for inspection, material testing, and construction management for Mile 2 North roadway reconstruction project from La Homa to Moorfield.
Move
Move
for
for
approval.
approval.
Those in, go ahead, sir.
No, second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item E2B, acceptance and approval of work authorization 1 with an estimated cost of $226,373.22 as submitted by project engineer LNG Engineering for engineering services related to inspection, material testing, and construction management for Mile 2 North roadway reconstruction project from La Homa to Moorfield Road.
Move for approval.
Second. I've got a little comment on that. Those $226,000,
Yes, sir.
million, whatever it is, 98.4% of it is going to be reimbursed by TxDOT,
Okay,
almost 100%.
98.4. Okay,
Yeah.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
thank you. Item F for Precinct 4-1, acceptance and approval of change order number 6 for an additional 38 days due to adverse weather for contract number C14-067-0603 with JCON Construction as reviewed and approved by project architect of record Mata Garcia Architects for Precinct 4 construction of Lynn San Manuel Emergency Services Facility with authority for county judge or court member to execute document.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item F1B for Precinct 4 is acceptance and approval of request for payment for invoice 15-4-000012 submitted by LNG Engineering Labs for the Lynn San Manuel facility, PO number 713423.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item G is for Health and Human Services Department. G1 is acceptance and approval to award a job order contractor, HIDCO LLC, through by board contract 46414 in the amount of $63,930.27 for the purchase installation of CCD X-ray image detector to include but not limited to any modifications and apprentices as may be necessary for a turnkey project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item G for Health and Human Services. I'm sorry, item H for Facilities Management. 1, requesting authorization to enter into a 60-month lease agreement for One Connect plus 1,000 and One Connect plus 2,000 digital mailing system from Pitney Bowes as awarded through the buy board contract 407-12 in the amount of $1,517 a month. The lease will commence with the first billing cycle following Commissioners Court approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2 is acceptance and approval to award the proposal received from HIDCO LLC, awarded job order contractor, through the county's participation with buy board job contract 464-14 for the turnkey replacement of door at the Extension Services Building in the amount of $3,315.32.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item I for juvenile probation 1 is requesting authorization to rescind action taken on 12/16/14 under agenda item 47824 as the application of materials to proposed project has changed from candy cane chain link mesh to basic 6-strand barbed wire, which will result in a considerable savings while not impacting the intent of the project.
Move for approval.
Second. Second. I think he had a shoulder injury, he didn't report it.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Move
Yes.
for approval.
I'm requesting approval for authorization to rescind action taken on 12/16/14 under agenda item number 478, inasmuch as the application of the materials to proposed project has changed from candy cane chain link mesh to basic 6-strand barbed wire, which will result in considerable savings while not impacting the intent of the project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item A1B, acceptance and approval to award job order contractor HIDCO awarded through the job buy board contract 46414 in the amount of $30,429.08 for repairs and replacement to existing security fencing inside the Hidalgo County Juvenile Detention Center located at 1711 North Bridge in Westlaco, Texas.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item J for constables. 1, we're requesting approval and authorization to purchase equipment and installation of lighting equipment and accessories from Fleet Safety Equipment through the county's membership with the buy board contract 432-13 in an amount of $259,043.20 for the following constables to include but not limited to Constable Precinct 1, rec number 275556 in the amount of $47,077.74. Constable Precinct 1, 275162 in the amount of $43,834.75. Constable Precinct 2, rec number 276013 in the amount of $64,401.41. Constable Precinct 2, rec number 275994, the amount of $7,014.70. Constable Precinct 3, rec number 275831, in the amount of $5,105.72. Constable Precinct 3, rec number 275772, in the amount of $20,704. Constable Precinct 4, rec number 276099, in the amount of $19,887.56. Constable Precinct 4, rec number 276019, in the amount of $43,177.44, for a total combined amount of $259,043.20.
For approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, pursuant to 551-071 and 072, need a motion to proceed to executive session.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We're going to be in executive session. It is 10:20.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Under open session, item 18A, real estate acquisition appropriation for same, there's no action to be taken today. Item 18B, pending and/or potential litigation, there is no action to be taken today. Item 18C, C 1883-15-J, Porfirio Castillo versus Hidalgo County et al. Judge, Commissioners, I want to refer to item 17A. I'm requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code, Section 262024A4, or professional service for the provision of legal services representation in connection with litigation. If I could have a motion to that effect.
Move for approval.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 17B, I'm requesting engagement with the firm of Atlas Holland Rodriguez for the provision of legal services representation in connection with litigation and authority to submit letter of engagement as it pertains to item 18C, which would be C-1883-15-J, Porfirio Castillo versus Hidalgo County et al.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 18D, claim of Manuel Alfaro. Judge, Commissioners, I would like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $330.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 18E, claim of Mauricio Gonzalez. Judge, Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $55.68.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 18F, claim of Noel Arenas. Judge, Commissioners, I would like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $160.
Move for approval.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 18G, claim of Orlando Garcia. Judge, Commissioners, I'd like to disclose that for purposes of the record, that this claim will be facilitated by Ms. Josephine Ramirez from the District Attorney's Office. If I could have a motion, a second.
Move for approval.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 18H, claim of Yesenia Garza. Judge, Commissioners, at this time, there's no action to be taken. We will monitor and advise accordingly.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Need a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Our next meeting is,
Monica, our next, the 19th of May.
okay.
Are
Thank
we
you,
going to be in the new building?
No, not yet. But we're almost there. We're almost there.
They always said it was going to be.
We're only a year late.